Hello.
Welcome to the Muscle of Yarn podcast. It's Monday,
It is definitely Monday.
March, I think it's the 28th.
It is the 28th.
And when this podcast airs, it will be
April Fool's
1st.
Day. Yes, I only know that because I'll be gone. So, yes. Yeah.
I only know that because I have my third presentation of the week is on Monday or Friday.
Mm-hmm.
One was today, got one Wednesday, got another one Friday.
Right.
Yeah, it's just nonstop this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but you didn't come here to listen to me talk about presentations that I have to be giving. This is a podcast about yarn, knitting, that crocheting stuff,
fiber things,
Vermonty things, whatever else Jen and I decide to.
Speaking of which, we didn't even talk about weather in the Outtakes.
Oh my God,
we might have to devote a few minutes to that.
No, because it's horrifyingly cold here again.
It snowed.
Yeah, it was snowing this morning. It was like 17 degrees.
And now it's sunny. And hopefully really the temperature's on the way up.
No, it's supposed to stay low for another day. Oh, really? I know. So anyway, we're here in Shelburne, Vermont at our yarn shop, Muscle of Yarn.
Yeah.
Where we sell all the things that we're going to talk to you about today. Or most of them.
And more. Quite a bit more, actually.
So much.
What we're going to talk about today is like a teensy amount.
Bit.
Just a hint of what is behind us.
Little bit. And so you can find the store on social media as Muscle of Yarn. You can subscribe to our newsletter by going to the website. That's how you stay up to date on all the fun stuff that we're doing.
Yeah, like monthly is our newsletter. I've sort of decided it's mostly monthly unless something exciting happens, in which case we might do one more frequently.
That's good. That's a good frequency.
My new plan.
Much more stuff happening on like Instagram, like more real-time updates, new yarns, new patterns, new just fun things.
Yeah.
On that account. So,
yeah.
And I'm Angela.
I'm Jen.
And you can find me out on social media, Instagram and Ravelry as Junior Bird Kid.
And you can find me on Ravelry, which one is which, as J Arbuckle, and on Instagram as Jennifer_Arbuckle.
Yep. And feel free to follow or friend me on those platforms with my normal caveat that that's my personal page.
Lots of other stuff on there, not just yarn and knitting.
Other things.
If you want a picture of what it looked like when it started snowing yesterday, you can certainly follow me.
Mm-hmm.
There was an unhappy smiley face, or upside down smiley face.
Yeah, that was...
It's all right. It was a little dusting of snow. But then this morning, I got to work, and actually the roads were pretty bad. I didn't have any problems.
Down by us, they were horrible.
I didn't have a huge problem, but I got to work, and they were like, we've closed this road and that road. And I was like, really?
Wow.
And then it snowed all morning. Like there was, I don't know, a couple inches on the ground in Williston. I was like, oh my God, please make it stop.
I talked to somebody this morning who was like, sorry, this is my fault. I had my snow tires taken off, and I was like, why?
To wait
why did you do that?
Mid-April period. Tax day or Easter. Those are like, whatever comes later.
I'm usually like beginning of May because I'm hedging. Like, we've had a couple years where we've had
aim for mid-April, and by the time I really get them off, it's probably more like June. But
yeah, that's sometimes. Yeah. Well, the one year that we had, was it 2020? I think it was 2020. We had that massive snowstorm in like the middle of May.
Yeah.
I was like, I still have my snow tires on.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. But those early birds, they're the ones who ruin it for the rest of us.
Yeah.
I'm hoping this will be the last cold spell, and then we're really into the at least more temperate weather.
Yeah.
If it was just snowing and it wasn't, zero this morning, I would be fine. But the zero was really a little bit. I was just really cold. Yeah.
It was dumb. It was dumb cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, we've gotten used to the maybe not zipping up your jacket, or like maybe not wearing.
Or in the morning when I go to the bus, like I'm used to having to bundle up, but usually by like the end of the day.
Yeah.
Today I bebopped out of my office with just my coat on. I didn't put my cowl on or anything, and I was like, ugh!
Right. When the wind blows down your shirt, that's when you know that it's so cold. The wrong kind of day. Yeah.
So cold.
Knitwear is required kind of day. Yeah.
Which I clearly am not wearing again because
I have one thing that I'm wearing my little Fairy Hill scarf. I think that's what it's called.
We'll talk about it when we get there.
Do
we want to do our podcast pick? Do we want to start with that?
No,
I don't know. I'm all discombobulated. Show notes. Oh yeah, we start with our podcast pick.
All right, well let's do that.
Good job. Good job, me. I have like show notes from 2 weeks ago or 2 podcast episodes again that I'm writing this episode.
I have a list on my phone.
So we're just
of random thoughts.
We're winning today.
We're here. I think that's as winning as it gets.
I know, right?
That's about it.
So, despite the cold weather today and
we are
the
confident
chilliness
that spring will
outside,
come.
we are thinking spring. And we wanted to bring this yarn. This is a yarn that we've had for quite a while. This is Juniper Moon Farm Zoe. It's a cotton linen blend.
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful yarn. We have all kinds of colors, as you can see.
Yeah.
So many new colors.
Yeah, we just restocked the colors.
Just restocked.
And it has great stitch definition.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because it's pretty soft to the touch, although it's very linen feeling. But once you wash it, it really is very soft.
Yeah,
so
it's that linen.
Yeah.
That's in it.
Yeah.
So these retail for $17.99 a skein.
They are 60% cotton, 40% linen, and 84
yards. So it's
100 gram skeins.
Yeah, it's a pretty good put up for yardage. It's a DK/sport weight. I think you could knit it at either gauge.
Yeah.
Because it will
plump.
quite a bit when it softens up. So I think, this would be a good yarn if you're looking for something for the no need to panic sweater.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to do like a short sleeve summer version, like this would be great yarn for that.
Yeah.
You wouldn't need too many, 3s. Well, it depends on what size you're making, but
maybe 3. Yeah. Not too many, especially for a short sleeve.
Yeah.
And they have great pattern support.
Mm-hmm.
We have quite a few choices here, but here's a couple just to whet your appetite a little bit. This is a really cute little tank top. And we have others, as I said, and they have great pattern support online as well. Juniper Moon Farm always has really great pattern support for their yarns.
Yep.
So it's been around for a while. It just sort of holds its own. It's a great classic.
Yeah, and we've got some new, this is a really nice kind of taupey neutral color. It would read green, it would read brown, it could read yellow, depending on what you put with it.
I'm in love with this turquoise.
Yeah, that's the turquoise. This green, color. This sage green is just is gorgeous.
Yeah.
With nice blue, a couple blues. This one is a black.
Yeah,
it's called a rise. Yeah. I think it's black.
No, it's definitely black.
Yeah.
Because this is the navy, which is a little bit more washed out. And then there's just this really great sort of linen color. I don't know what else you would call it. It's just, this one is called white pepper, but it just has that great sort of creamy yellow, creamy beigey.
And if you like the mustard, this is harvest gold, but that's a really nice kind of mustardy yellow color. Those two together would be gorgeous. You know what? This would actually make probably a really nice rocket tee.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's for fingering weight yarn, but this sort of drapey linen would be real nice for that, or even just these two together for a rocket tee would be really beautiful. Just nice neutral. So I think we'll use, I won't make you spell Zoe because
there's extra O's.
There's an extra O in it.
It's zoo.
Yeah.
EY.
So I think we should just make the code PP Moon.
Oh, for Juniper Moon.
Yeah, and just keep it easy.
Or JMF. Z.
No. PP Moon, something that people can I remember.
Right.
Podcast pick Moon. PP Moon.
Right.
And
this is a really nice color.
It is
too.
a really nice
color. But the red, they have a great classic red, and then they have this really nice red that's called
really nice together too.
Red velvet. Cake. Red velvet cake. That's
so
what I'm thinking.
The way this works is for 2 weeks following the podcast release, which is Friday, April 1st, you can get 10% off online or in store with the code. And we do have a tutorial if
episode 70 something.
Yeah, I can't remember which one it is.
I heard you say that so many times.
The key is, if you're paying with PayPal, you have to go to PayPal and come back, and then you can put the coupon code in. It's a weird little quirky thing.
Yeah.
Still cannot use coupon codes with Apple Pay. It's a weird little quirky thing with Shopify. So someday, hopefully,
Shopify's a great system, but there's a couple weird, quirky things.
They will figure it out. So if you want to use a coupon code, can't pay with Apple Pay. Have to use something else.
Yeah.
So 10% off Zoe.
Okay.
Now I want to make all the things.
I know. I was like, oh, I need like a little tank or a little, something loose. And
meanwhile.
I know. Right. Please. Please.
And a house full of yarn.
Did I not say 2 weeks ago, look, I'm going to be almost done with my sweater. And then, of course, I had this crazy brainstorm and I've lost my mind and I'm now doing something entirely else. But
totally.
some things are worth it, but still.
So what are you wearing today?
I am wearing something. It's probably a bad idea, but just this is the Fairy Hill shawl. It's probably a little hard to see.
Gorgeous.
There's some beads in it. Maybe that's the back. Nope, it's the front.
That is the front.
There's the bead, sorry. I saw the bead on the back and I was like, maybe I'm showing you. They're little black beads. It's a Helen Stewart pattern from, I forget which shawl society, maybe 2, I can't remember. So it's from like 2017. Okay. I knitted right away. It's just a great little crescent shawl. It's a really pretty pattern. And the yarn actually was a fun thing. Molly Girl Yarns did a naming contest, and I won it.
Oh, cool.
Raspberry Beret.
Nice.
She does everything with, my brain, this is definitely Monday.
Yes.
Music related. And all of her things have to be named after something.
A song or something. Yeah. Nice.
I do like to wear it. I got dressed this morning and I was like, that's a lot of black you're wearing. You need some color.
And I had my All Points South cowl on. I'm not going to pull it back over my head again, but because it might be nice for people to see what it looks like.
Yeah, it's funny because it looks so like long and weirdly shaped, but then when you put it on, it has that it just bunches nicely, but you can still see all the patterns.
Yep.
It's a funny configuration.
Yeah, because it's like cozy or
yeah.
So anyway.
Yeah.
So I had that on. And should have put it back on after I left my office to go outside. Clearly, it's cold out there. But anyway, then I got in the car and I was like, oh, it's fine. The heater will kick on.
And the 5-minute drive to the store.
Well, I had to go to the bank, then I had to pick up my lunch, dinner, my dinner to eat. Which is also why it's off, because I don't like to eat with that kind of stuff on, because I feel like it, anyway.
Yes, I had soup for lunch today, and I was like leaned way over so I would not drip on either the white shirt or because I was shoveling it in my 15-minute lunch break today.
Yeah, totally.
Anyway, we digress.
Okay. So Jen, you have a super awesome finished object this week.
I do. Yeah.
Why don't we talk about it? Because it's amazing.
Yeah. So, a week and 2 days ago, I woke up like everyone else. You listen to the news and you're sort of thinking about what's happening in Ukraine and you're trying not to think about it and just do your daily thing. And for some reason on Friday morning when I woke up, I was just like, I just can't. Like, we got to do something. There must be something that I can do. My life is just doing its normal thing and I'm going on trips and working. And so I emailed these guys and I was like, so I have had this crazy idea. I'm going to design a pattern and knit it over the weekend. First of all. Second of all. And then maybe we can do kits and we can sell the pattern in kits and we can donate all the proceeds to support humanitarian efforts on the ground in Ukraine. So some of those objectives were achieved. I designed a pattern over the weekend. I knit a fair amount of it over the weekend, but it did actually take me until, I don't know, Wednesday or Thursday. Other work has been exceedingly busy. And but this is a Sunflower Rising cowl. It's a little bit of an A-line. I will be very honest. It was somewhat inspired by the Emerge, the ground up cozy that we did for the Seasons of Vermont. But I was like, I said to these guys, I'm just going to change that pattern around. It'd take me 3 minutes. But then I was like,
no, I got to change it more.
Right. So I changed the yarn, which then changed everything. So it's knitted a worsted weight. There's a little bit of cables for the
sunflower stems.
See the sunflower stems. Yeah. And then just a little bit of yellow ground. And so it's actually a little bit of an A-line pattern, so it just is sort of, it's very cozy. So many of you who are watching this, especially by Friday, no, we posted it on Saturday, maybe, I forget. Yes, finally I got around to finishing the pattern on Saturday. And we've had very lovely, lots of lovely responses, which is great.
We have kits available for pre-order. Christy from Fiber Stash is dyeing up some yarn. I grabbed these. These are not worsted weight. These are the fingering weights. But
And truthfully, this is fingering weight held double. That's what I had.
So
in
you
my
could
stash.
do that as well if you wanted. Though I've heard
Yeah.
it's has some fiddly bits because of the cable and other things. So, but she's going to be doing kits. I think that they're done or almost done.
So I had this brainstorm, and I had these colors, and I knew she had this color, which I love, even though I'm not much of a yellow person. And so I emailed her immediately, and she's like, well, I can get started, but I had to figure out how much yarn we needed. But I'm leaving on vacation next Thursday, which was like this past Thursday. So she did some dyeing, and I still wasn't sure about the quantities because I hadn't finished it yet. So when she gets back from vacation in a week and change-ish, somewhere in there will be some. So the first kits that people ordered will be available probably that second week of April. I've lost track of where we are. But, and then there'll be more. And, of course we are, and then this week, I got up on Saturday morning and I was like, oh, maybe I should do a hat, because it would be easy to turn this into a hat pattern, which actually, despite my expectations about turning that into this, the hat pattern was fairly easy to do. It only took me a few hours yesterday. So my test knitter, thank God.
Stay tuned for the outtakes to hear about the yarn delivery
system for that. But I sent Anja a chart yesterday, and she's going to...
so I'm going to knit it up out of some different yarns.
Yeah.
So we'll have some other options for folks and can put some other kits together. So I'm going to use wool stock for the yellow, and then this is Barocco Ultra wool. I think it's their deep blue, ocean blue.
Yeah, only because I looked at it yesterday.
It's a little
darker,
a little more variegation, but I think it will be fine.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna test knit her hat because I can do that
and then
quickly.
Yeah, and then and then I can. The pattern will be easy to draft for that. So hopefully by a week from now, I don't know however long it takes you. I don't want to cramp your stuff.
I'm going to go cast it on tonight when I get home because I cleared
up
some other stuff off last night because I was going to cast it on last night, but the yarn. Anyway, it's all fine.
Yeah. So that pattern will pop up. It may pop up. I don't think it'll pop up by Friday just because I know what my own week is like. So even if you somehow manage to knit it before Friday, I'm going away Friday through Sunday, so we'll sort of see how it goes. But anyway, it'll be coming very shortly, and we posted a little bit more. I wrote about it in our newsletter over the weekend, and then I posted a little bit more today, and we want people to share the posts that we've been sharing, and share it on Facebook, share it on Instagram, share it with your favorite local dyers, share it with your other local yarn stores, because we are more than happy to have other people join us, and local yarn stores could put kits together and they can, donate those proceeds. I'm very happy to give the patterns to them for that. And
or it's a part of the Ravelry in-store sales.
Right. So it is on
program
Ravelry
as well. So.
Yeah. So that's what we're doing. And so far, I haven't done the math yet to see where we're at. And actually, I don't know what Christy needs for the yarn, so I don't know where we're at. But people have been buying it, and we're very grateful for that.
Yes.
So thank you for supporting us in that effort.
Yes.
And I think we've been talking a little bit about which organizations to donate to. We are leaning towards
World Central Kitchen, Red Cross Ukraine, Doctors Without Borders, sort of those types of organizations, very people-focused solutions. Yep.
Or at least
bringing
help.
aid to folks on the ground in very real ways. The food one's a big deal for me because that's something that everybody needs. They need food, need to be able to eat.
Yeah, so. I agree. We do have some other options for if you're interested in yarn for any Ukrainian inspired project. I will say that our blue and yellow yarns are a little depleted, but we have a few. So Vintage has a great blue. This blue color is 5153. I'm not quite sure what color it actually is. Plymouth Worsted Merino Superwash in color number 61.
And we've got Lamb's Pride. So again, a worsted weight in Dynamite Blue and Wild Mustard. So that's another good option. And then in
Those
the
are
like
wrong weight for this pattern, but
right,
for other things.
patterns,
yeah, right.
Because this is a DK. We're gonna mess up.
Those were all worsted weights that we showed you to begin with.
DK weight. We've got the Vintage Baby in this nice blue. This is color 10034. And then Ella Ray Cashmerino Sport in Marigold. So those would also work well together. And then we do, in the fingering have Fiber Stash. This is TARDIS Blue and this is Goldenrod. So those
are the colors that we used in this.
just in the worsted weight.
Although in the kits, the yellow will probably be called Sunflower. I asked her to change up the color name just for the kits, but we'll see. So more to follow on all those fronts.
Well, and so speaking of other efforts to raise money for Ukraine, this is the Ripples Make Waves hat by Casapinka. I had knit another one and said that I was going to do this.
I like this one
and
better
do
than
the yellow.
I like them both, but I like this one better.
With the sunflower. So this is, again, the TARDIS Blue in fingering weight, held double with a mohair. So it's nice and fuzzy. And then I just changed the mohair colors at the top. So with the blue and the yellow. And there was perhaps some swearing, because I don't know if you've ever knit with two different strands of mohair that you're trying to alternate back and forth at various times. Yeah, it was, luckily it was only the crown and didn't take for very long, but very fiddly. But I think the result is beautiful.
Yeah.
And I really like it, and have this snuggly hat that I'm probably more inclined to wear. The top. It's on.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah. So. Plus, you can really see the pattern on this one better on the sides than the other one, which was the halo on the other one sort of hid that a little bit.
Well, I also did this part correctly as the pattern called for, so there's that too. I couldn't.
That was not an intentional call out.
I misread the pattern the last time, which seems to be a theme at times.
Easy enough to do.
Yeah. And I was like, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to rip it out. It's mohair. Not ripping it out.
Not happening. Right. Exactly.
So,
yeah.
Anyway, so I finished that.
Clearly, I have no other finished objects because, I have very little other knitting. Although a little bit of progress on the big sweater. But
I'm calling it a finished object because it's finished to where I need it for my class on Saturday.
Oh, interesting. This is a new definition of finished.
New definition. And everybody's going to laugh because this is the funniest finished object ever. Wow. A sock with two toes.
It's like the world's longest, skinniest Musselburgh hat. Musselburgh. I'm trying. It's for the, what was that critter? Inchworm, the one that was in the Richard Scarry book. Lowly.
Oh, yeah.
How did I remember that? Where does my brain go? I don't know. But he was long.
So I'm teaching a sock class on Saturday that is about heels and toes. So I figured I might actually want to have this type of toe as an example because I don't actually have it on any of my socks. And I just happen to have this sock tube that will be right to split for heels and cuffs. And just figured I'll just put the two toes in.
Are they short socks that you're making?
No.
They don't look... Oh, okay.
No, because it needs a heel. So if you split it in half, it'll be there, and like the heel will go there, and it'll need a cuff on it. So it'll be fun.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't make super long
Okay.
socks anyway.
That's fine.
But yeah, so this is what I was working on. I finished this last night. But if I had had the yarn, then I would have cast on the hat, and this would have sat. So this is now done.
Which is good.
Which is good.
It's very strange to get things done ahead of time, isn't it? In my experience, anyway, because I am the world's worst procrastinator.
I put together some class materials as well. Like, I was on a roll after I had my coffee.
And the children went
No,
off
actually,
to play
did I
in
do
the
that on
yard.
Saturday? I might have done that on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
I don't know. Can't remember.
Like, you think to yourself, the class thing, like, I'm always like, oh, I can teach that. And I can. But there is some prep involved.
There is
I knew
prep.
that because I've done it before, and I've also taught, in my own other life,
Yeah.
as do you. And so
Yeah.
you sort of know there's prep, but then when you actually sit down, you're like, how am I going to explain all this?
Right.
Oh, okay. Like, I
Right.
have to make, like, a plan.
Right. Yeah, no, that's what I was doing. And also hunting up all of my books that I have on socks.
Yeah.
The good news is I only have one book that I've apparently bought twice because I didn't realize I had it already. So
It seems to be a problem. There's another set of podcasters that I watch that bought the same book twice, and they did a giveaway for theirs.
maybe
For
I'll
their
have
extra
to
book.
maybe I'll have to do that.
Was it sock architecture by any chance?
It is. It is. What?
That's too funny. The Needles at the Ready guys just went through this whole episode where Kevin was like, I bought a new book, and Ray's like, I think we have that book.
Yes. And
That's hilarious that it's the same
swear
book.
I looked in my books before I bought it.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I'm pretty sure I have
So did
that.
Kevin, apparently.
And I looked and I didn't see it.
Yeah.
And so I bought
It's
it.
a skinny
again.
one, if I'm not mistaken.
It is. So yes, I have
That's
it.
hilarious.
I have 2 copies of it now.
Yeah. It's a book that wants to be bought.
Ridiculous.
It's going to get in your shopping basket no matter what it takes.
I now own 2 copies. Anyway, so well, and I needed to like wash some of my socks because I have a lot of different examples of heels and toes
Yeah.
on just my own socks.
Yeah.
But I was like, I should probably wash these if I'm going to take them in, and people are going to be handling them.
Right. Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, just to make sure they look.
Yeah, they
Nice
look
and-
nice.
yeah.
Well, some of them look like they get worn a lot.
Yeah.
And people can see, like, look, they're
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
sturdy. So
Yeah.
I did not have this, like, off-center toe, though I might.
Oh, because this is the, whatever the left and right.
Yeah, it's got left and right toes, which
Wow.
I will have to pay special attention to when I'm putting the heels in, so the heels go on the right side of
You
the
will.
sock.
You will indeed.
Or I will have interesting other problems.
Yes, that sounds like a recipe for me to make a huge mistake.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
It's
that
a nice
was
color.
exciting.
Is it?
Yeah.
What's the?
I think it's Freckled Winsey,
Pretty
maybe.
colors.
And I,
Did you knit someone else?
yes, gift
I think
socks.
it's the ones. Yeah.
At Christmas time,
Mhm.
this is the leftover
Awesome.
tube.
Cool.
Just getting
Yeah.
ready.
Yeah. Awesome.
Ready for Saturday.
Yeah.
So that's good. That's all ready to go. I can add that to my pile of my 2 sock architecture books.
So it's kind of like a half finished object because there's
It's a something.
no toes, no heels and cuffs. Yeah.
But it
we'll
looks
give it you.
like a
We'll give
complete
you.
object.
I know. We'll give it to you. Right. Right. There you go. You just need a button or a little toggle.
It's
It's a little short. I think a toggle would be better so that you could breathe while you're wearing it, and it will keep this much at the back of your neck warm.
I just go
Right.
there.
Right. See, you were chilly. You can wear that home.
That's right.
Right.
my sock neck warmer.
That's right. Oh dear. Yeah.
Never a dull moment.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so whatever this is, finished object, half finished object,
It's a thing.
it's a thing. Actually,
It's a
might
thing.
be a good
Right,
title.
it's a thing.
All right, it is a thing. It's a something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's see. What else have I been working on the last couple of weeks? Finish that hat, whatever that thing is. I got this far done
Cool.
on
Is
my
that the back?
sweater. That is the
front?
back.
Yeah. Oh,
No.
because right. I couldn't remember if it was steeked or not.
No.
It's not steeked.
That's the back because I wanted to show off.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
So I can't read the directions.
Oh God, not again.
No, the bottom part's wrong.
Is it?
Yeah, I kind of like it though. I think I'm gonna leave it.
Just remember to do it all the way around. What's wrong about it?
I didn't do it right.
The bottom, like this?
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
You added. Was the color supposed to be added?
Yeah, but I
It's
don't think I did it correctly because I think it's just supposed to transition. It's supposed to be
You
those
shouldn't
little.
see the pearl bumps.
Yeah, something was off on it. But
Don't do this at home.
No.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That's nice.
I'm trying to decide if it doesn't bother me.
Can you repeat it? That would be the bigger question.
No, I don't think so. So, because I don't know what I did.
Yeah.
Because you're supposed to do when you pick up around.
Yeah.
That's supposed to have the same type of edging as on the bottom. So that's what I'm worried about. And you have to knit like 7 inches.
Because there's a shawl collar, and then you have to do that
collar.
straight thing on the end.
Yeah, so I'm like, if I get to the end of that and I can't recreate this, then
So
yeah,
the shawl collar is applied, or is it knit on?
it's knit on. You pick up and
You pick it up and
pick
knit.
it up and knit.
Because I was going to say, if it's applied, then you could figure out whether you could repeat it or not, and then you, excuse me, and then
Really
you could,
quickly.
then you
Yeah.
could either take that off the bottom of the back and do it correctly, but yeah.
I know. So that one's in
It's a
a
challenge.
little bit of timeout right now.
You could knit the sleeves.
I could knit the sleeves while I decide
Because
what.
that's the front and the back knit together. The front, or do you knit the front separately?
No, the front's
It's on the other side. I didn't look at the back of the mannequin. Sorry.
That's okay. I put it on backwards so people could see the
The color,
striping.
yeah,
and
the color is beautiful.
And the gray really like toned that pink down a lot.
Yeah.
To where
no,
it's like
great.
nice and
It becomes more of a
wearable.
neutral color.
Yes, much more neutral. I probably will do the sleeves because that will give me more time to decide.
Right, that's what I meant.
Yeah, because I have to decide what I'm doing before I start knitting the shawl collar. Because once I knit the shawl
Right.
collar, I'm stuck. I can't
Yes.
rip out the bottom of this to fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't mind it. I don't think I can recreate it. My other question is, if I can't recreate it, is it going to be that big of a
Figure
deal?
out what you did.
I think either my stitches were off, or I can't follow direction. I don't know. I don't know.
Like I would understand, like if the pearl bumps were showing because it was in the rib. Is it garter on around the edges?
It's a shoot. What is that called? Because the other thing is, I could just rip it out and do like a regular bind off on it.
Just not put that color on the edge.
Yeah.
That could be fine too.
Yeah. So
That's what I would do.
I
like the stripe.
I'm gonna
but-
pull it off so people can see what we're talking about.
Yeah, because I can't without looking at it in more detail and without tipping over on my head, because that would be the next thing to happen on today.
So my transition.
That's the front side, the right side.
The right side.
Yeah,
That's the wrong side.
but it's interesting that it's consistent.
It is consistent. So whatever I did it the same all the way across. And maybe it's just because I have such high contrast.
Oh, I know what you did.
I slipped the wrong stitch.
No,
in
you
one
did
direction.
knit one, purl one instead of knit one, purl two, or
Nope.
whatever. Knit two, purl.
Nope, but
Purl two.
you set it up on one of the rows to reorganize the stitches so it's a knit one, purl one. So you do
Oh.
go from 2x2 to 1x1.
Oh, yeah.
But I think what
That's
happened
why.
was I slipped. It's like a tubular cast off
Oh,
kind of thing, and I think I slipped a stitch that I was supposed to knit. I don't know. I don't know what I did. Super.
well, if you're changing from knit two, purl two to knit one, purl one, you're going to see something like that, because you just every other when you transition the color.
Reorient the stitches though. You almost do like a little cable to like
Mm-hmm.
flip them.
Yeah, but do you do that before you put the color on?
Yeah.
Oh, so you shouldn't be seeing the bumps at all.
No. No.
It's a challenging thing. I have no idea.
So
I thought I had solved it for you, or not solved it, but
so that's what it looks like. I
Which
don't
is
think
fine.
that's what it's supposed to look like.
No, but it could be fine. Again, like knitting mistakes, if they're consistent, they're not mistakes.
I
They're
think
style elements.
the problem is that there's going to be 7-inch border that at its edging is supposed to have the same thing.
Well, the other option would be to just do it because it goes all the way around the front and back, right?
To just do a plain and not do color
on the edge of the shawl collar. And see if you can replicate it for the sleeves, or if not, just do the sleeves correctly.
Or just do the sleeves plain again too, and just have this weird little double color in the back
Problem
that
solved.
I'm not going to see. So that could also be.
Well, it's consistent all the way around, right?
Yeah.
So it would go all the way around the front and back. It would just be on the bottom. You just wouldn't have it on the other things around it. I'm not sure you want a stripe of color around your neck anymore.
Yeah, I don't know that I want this pink up around my face.
Well, it's not a bad color, but it's just like you're going to have a big field of dark, and then you're just going to have like a little stripe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could be fine.
I don't know. I probably knit the sleeves, and then I'll see how I'm feeling with it.
Yeah.
So.
At least it's the front and the back. It's not like it's on the back and you have to somehow replicate it on the front.
No, I know.
Right, so that's easy.
Yeah.
Just don't do it anywhere else. Problem solved. Next. Glad to be of assistance.
I know. It's great.
Well, despite my focus on other things, I have
You made progress on that.
Well, not as much as you'd think, because it was actually here.
Okay.
When I left off last time. But I did all of this last night, basically. I did maybe like a couple rows before I started the Sunflower Rising, and then I did the rest of this. So with a few, and last night I just could not do anything else. I needed something simple to work on. I say, as I'm working on the lace at the bottom here.
With bubbles.
Yeah.
Oh, there goes our lights again.
Yeah, first row of bubbles. It's hard to see, but there you go. So, still loving it. Very much want the sweater. So, I am going to push through on that. This was monofocus, which is why I have a test knitter for that. So, I can make some progress on my stuff.
Nice.
So, still loving the fabric and the yarn. So, the blue yarn, these two held together for those that may or may not remember. The blue one is Ritual Dyes, and they're blue-black Priestess DK 4-ply yarn. And this is I keep calling it Kid Silk Haze. That's been a lie this entire time because I found the tag and I was like, oh, right. Huh. It's Ballet Yarns, Southampton, which is Ballet Yarns is Webb's in-house yarn line. I don't remember the name of the color, but Merlot is what sticks in my head. Take
that with a grain of salt.
It's probably in that bag. It's definitely Ballet Yarn Southampton, which is their mohair blend.
Nice.
I went there to Webb's to buy the Kid Silk Haze that I had found the color of, and I knew they had it. And then when I got there, I liked this color better, so I bought this instead.
Because that happens.
It does. But for the 12 previous podcasts where I've been lying about where the yarn comes from, that's
nice.
Sorry. Please forgive me.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
So I cast on a cowl for the other class that I'm teaching later in May. Not later in May, in May.
Yeah.
It's a mosaic knitting class. And so I cast it on and knit enough to be able to show people
how to make
it. So it's called the lozenge cowl. It's just this great little like two color cowl. I'm using Ultra World DK and Schopel edition 3 for the counter color, and I've made it that far after like a couple of nights of knitting. So it's a pretty quick
Yeah, it's pretty.
pattern.
Nice colors.
So thank you. I was looking for something that had, contrast so people could see how the slip stitches sort of make these cool patterns. And, the fun thing about mosaic knitting is you're only knitting with one color at a time.
That's the best part.
So you can make these really beautiful sort of color working, color complicated looking knits, but you only are knitting with one color at a time. So it's pretty cool. It's going to be a 2-session class in May. And, the hope is people can get this cowl finished in those 2 sessions.
Yeah.
So they have a complete finished object that doesn't just languish. There is homework because I'm making you do this cast on part before you get to class. So we can jump into the fun stuff.
Yeah.
So.
And then show them how at the other end when they knit the rest of it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. After briefly, talking about, mosaic knitting, we have a bunch of different samples. So half of them I've knit like in the shop for different things because it's just a cool, I have a hat that I knit for Abigail, though I think it's in the gift bin because she was just like, meh, I don't really want it, with little hearts on it all the way around, and it looks like a complicated color work, and it's a slip stitch pattern. It's a mosaic knitting. So you can do some cool stuff with it. So anyway, that class is live if you're local and you're interested. It's going to be in May.
As is the sock one, right?
Sock one's this weekend on Saturday.
Oh, tomorrow. But right after this airs.
Right after this
One
airs.
last minute sign up.
You could
I think
sign
there's
up.
a couple slots.
There's a couple slots left. It's going to be more lecture series. There's no like homework or really not probably too much hands-on stuff because it's more show and tell. Like here's different heels and different toes, and here's where you can find them, and here's what they look like, and here's this one works for self-striping and this one doesn't. So anyway.
I updated and revised our class list because we made a few changes. We had some supply chain issues with the yarn for the crochet class, and so that got pushed back a little bit, and so we filled in the gaps, and then it made me realize that I had not actually completely posted descriptions for some of my classes, so I did that this afternoon. So I am teaching at the end of the month a class that I've renamed Relationship Advice. Yarn plus needles equals gauge.
Apparently I need to go to that class.
So that's a 1-session class on April 30th for anyone who's interested locally.
I did offer to teach that class and I got shot down.
Yeah, it's going to be fun, actually. And then there's another one that I call Magical Geometry, shawl shapes and sizes and techniques. So it'll be learning about increasing and decreasing and, triangle versus semicircle versus circular versus asymmetrical triangle. So we'll make little tiny mini shawls and all of those. Plus,
And if they want to donate them for Meerkat clothes, I'll take them.
Exactly right. That's right. Right, I should keep that in mind. So that's up as well. And then we still have a few spots left, I think. In April, we have, I just posted them, I should remember this, but I don't. It's in here somewhere, though. Hopefully it's in here somewhere. It may not be. Oh, no, because I did it a different way. I was just looking at it earlier today. There's a brioche class. We have the crochet top class, which is exciting. So those who are learning to crochet.
Or lurking.
Right, either way. Yeah. And then we have a couple of the help with project Fiber Without Fear drop-in sessions. One in April, I think on the 30th, and then another one in May. And I forget what else is up there. But we talked about, I have it posted in the newsletter as well. So feel free to check it out or check us out online because we have some good stuff in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we've actually like 3 knit-alongs going right now.
We do.
Yes. We have the along, which is for this, barber pole style yarn.
Yeah,
so like this project would count, this cowl would count, the sweater that I have that needs armhole steeked would count.
This guy.
Yeah, this guy. So I have a lot of like in progress things for that along that are not quite there yet.
And I have a pause project for that.
Exactly.
Another simmering project for Jen.
We have the snuggle along that's for fuzzy things. I've seen some good finished objects over there with people that are like, just in time for the cold weather. I'm like,
Right.
Yep, pretty much. Right. So join us for that. And recently launched in March 18th, is the Seasons of Vermont along.
That's right.
So
yeah, we talked about this last time, and I showed you all the bits, but I'm going to show them one more time because we still have some left. So this was the cowl cozy pattern for that came with the kit from the ground up. It's called. So, and it is knit in Peter's Home Sport, natural color, and Bobolink yarns, and I don't remember if there's a name for this, but it's a specially dyed red that she did for us that really is tulip red. It's really
it's
great.
gorgeous.
And there's some variation in there. And then, of course, here they are right here, the actual yarns. So their yarn, it varies a little bit in the kit. Sometimes it's a little bit grayer, sometimes it's a little bit creamier. But this is their Shetland, just plain old Shetland, 4 ounces, 270 yards. And then this is the red Newgrass Sport, 100% Clune Forest wool, 50 grams, 160 yards. And that really nice red. It's got a little bit of dark and light in it. Yeah, it's beautiful. And then, of course, it came with this wonderful bag. So it's kind of square in plan. I'm an architect, can you tell? And then when you pull the magic things, you get this little pouch. And then you can carry it.
Those bags are so cool.
Yeah, so it makes this little thing. So you can have your yarn in here, and you can have 2 colors. One would come out one, and one would come out the other. So there's lots of things you can do. And it's a great size. You can see there's easily fits, probably 3 regular size skeins of yarn. And it's in this really beautiful poppy fabric.
Yeah.
Spring, spring, spring.
Totally.
Seeds, a little bit of hand lotion.
Hand lotion is amazing.
Yeah, Pure Energy Apothecary. Apothecary. So they're one of our local folks. Snacks. Oh, it's snacks. And little tiny Progress Keeper, which actually, you know what, it's on my sweater. It's a little bit easier to see. Of course, it's probably tangled up in the yarn, but little tiny Progress Keeper. Oh, so much for this production. Little heart shape.
It's a thing.
It's the last piece of ice of the spring. That's what it is. So anyway, so these are up, and then obviously we have some other kits left over from previous Seasons of Vermont. We have onesie-twosies, like bits and pieces. So.
And if you didn't get a kit, or you don't want a kit but you want the patterns, we've bundled the patterns, and using one of the patterns with some yarn that you have will count for this along as well.
This is the only pattern that hasn't been released publicly yet, so it's still exclusive just to this kit for the next couple of months, and then we'll release that one. But all the other ones have been released on Ravelry, so they're all there.
And they're up there in a bundle, and they're linked in the group and the thread, so you can take a look and see any of those would count as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, 3 knit-alongs, all kinds of stuff.
Amazing.
Let's see. I had some other things on my notes here. I don't remember if we talked about this last. So this is like the random section. Things we should tell people. I don't know if we talked about this last time or not. So we made the decision to bring Chagu needles in. So
we did not talk about this.
So I didn't bring any back here, but we have a pretty full line of them, and we're going to add to our line as we go, but we have a full selection now. So we've been talking about that for a while. We just sort of
finally just pulled the plug and said, let's do it.
Yeah, exactly.
We have local yarn store days coming up April 30th. So.
Right. Why do I have June 11th? June 11th is World Wide Knit in Public Day. My notes are really, really well done. 2 dates to keep in mind.
Local yarn shop day. We'll have some things going on here at the store.
You can come take my class and then participate in
Exactly. So it'll be fun. That's April 30th. And then Worldwide Knit and Public Day is June 11th. And we have some other fun things in the works for that day as well.
Absolutely. The Green Mountain, gosh, I have the initials here. Green Mountain or Great Northern.
Yarn Hall.
The Yarn Hall is back. So I've been beginning to pull that together with my colleagues from, I think we have almost the same number of stores. So we have like 27, 28, I think, participating again this year. Wow. Actually, we've added a couple, so we're probably more than that. And there's a few more in Maine that I'm talking to, so I might stop and see one this weekend when I'm there in Portland. So at Mother of Pearl, hopefully I'm going to make a little trip in there, and also just maybe to, see what's happening there.
See what's happening.
My friend I'm staying with is a knitter, so that might happen. Of course, she also has 2 small children, so perhaps not.
Yeah, also makes it more challenging.
Right,
yeah.
Exactly. I might be on my own there. So anyway, and those dates are July... hell to be old. I want to say it's July 8th through the 31st. So
like a good
an extra weekend.
Weekends.
People have always telling us it's not long enough. So I'm pretty sure that's what we decided.
I mean, at some point it's just going to be like the entire month of July.
Well, the main yarn cruise happens for 3 months in the summer, and a couple of people have been like, we should do that, and I was like, I think it needs to have some boundaries. So not the least of which is for us internally, there needs to be some boundaries.
Right.
I guess it doesn't really matter, but it's more exciting if there's a
shorter period. People are more motivated and stay on it. And steam.
So every store, we're changing things up a little bit this year, but it'll be similar. So there'll still be the same price structure, same number of prizes, but a different way of handling them. And we're challenging every store to think about activities. So we need to talk stitch and pitch. Usually falls within that time frame.
Yep.
And it's maybe non-COVID summer. So hopefully we can do that. So that would fall in there. And then some special classes or events. So we have to talk about that a little bit. I, of course, will be on vacation for
of course you will.
a week and a half in July. So have at it. Just kidding. I'm not kidding about being on vacation, but of course I'll help. I just won't be here. I think that was it on my list. There's
nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I always feel like we're forgetting like a million things. But
we'll just catch you next time, or we'll just forget, or it wasn't that important to begin with.
Right.
So.
So please share.
Yeah, please share.
Tell your friends.
Yep.
Tell your friends to share.
Yep.
The more people who know and who make a tiny little contribution, we add all those little tiny things up, and that makes actually a real amount of money.
Yep.
So
totally.
We don't care about it for us, but we just want there to be more for them.
And thank you to everybody who's already purchased a pattern, purchased pre-order kits. We really appreciate you, and we appreciate that.
Yeah, we do.
So thank you.
Yeah. And, no politics.
Yep.
But thank you.
And thank you for stopping to spend some time with us, hang out for the outtakes. It gets real ridiculous, and
there's a fair amount of randomness there.
Totally.
But why should today be any different?
I know. It's a thing.
I think it's good that we do it on Mondays. I don't know. It could be good or bad. It sort of enhances
a little punchiness,
the silliness.
Yeah, at
punchy.
Times.
Yeah.
So.
Plus, I always have like a shot of sugar before we start, just to revive me, because otherwise I'd be lying on the floor having a nap.
Exactly.
Right. All right.
Okay.
Well, that's it.
Thanks everybody for stopping by.
Thanks everybody.
We'll hopefully see you in a couple of weeks.
All right.
Bye. Okay,
But
I'm gonna turn it on because I can. If there's anything that needs to get cut out, I can cut it out
that's fine.
when I edit.
That's fine.
But
Oh God, I can't wait. Haircut this week. It's when the bangs like get to here that I can't stand them.
due for one at some point here. Like skater hair going on.
Mine just keeps getting longer and longer, and then she lops off some on the bottom, and then
Nice.
there's no style or plan. It's just hair.
Yeah, I hope. Did you just randomly pick the number of things you released
Yes.
for pre-order?
Yes.
Okay. Because I was like, huh, all right. Well,
I have no.
we have no idea.
Christy's
what
on vacation, so I don't know what we're doing.
It'll be a surprise for her when she gets back.
I
Surprise!
picked 25 because that seemed like a fairly normal
We
amount.
sold 100 kit. No, that would
No,
be,
that
would
I
be
only made
amazing.
25.
I know.
The
I saw.
patterns, Ariana put in at 1,000 because she said, let's make it some weird number that will never sell.
Right.
And I
Right.
was like, well, let's hope
I mean,
sell
if we
that
sold
many.
1,000 patterns, that would be
That'd be
amazing.
awesome. Yeah.
That would be amazing.
10 grand, that would be.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
We need to talk about where it's going to go. There's some good
Yeah.
organizations. The
I have it in
global
the
food
kitchen. That's
or
where I
whatever.
donated my money when I did
Yeah.
it personally.
Yeah.
I was debating, I'm sort of torn by that, Red Cross, Ukraine, and Doctors Without Borders because I just feel like, I don't know. Those are the top three for me. but
Like
there's
the
lots
World
of
Central
others.
Kitchen one to me is just like what they're doing is amazing with feeding and
Yeah.
like high-end chef like Mark Murphy is currently over there working in Poland with them.
Yeah. Did you see the
so-
size of the pots? I mean, it's
There's like
crazy. They're like
Yeah.
the size of a room, some of those pots.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
yeah. Well, you're feeding lots of people, so
No, I know. I get all that. It's just bizarre. I mean,
yeah.
I've always thought that someday in my retirement, which is filled, my retirement is going to be busier
You're
than
gonna
my
be
current
really
life. It's a
busy.
little concerning.
Yeah.
But architects, there is an Architects Without Borders, and they go
Oh, okay.
into places that have either been destroyed by natural disaster or afterwards, and it's more of a planning sort of like
Yeah.
how do you rebuild an area.
Yeah.
So I've always thought that would be interesting, but and also it's my travel bug. Although traveling to like a destroyed place is not high on everyone's list of travel choices, but you know, gotta do what you're gonna do. I don't know.
Right.
We shall see. I'm pretty sure when I'm retired, I'm gonna run a yarn store.
I'm pretty sure you probably are too.
And maybe it would be nice to not have 1,000 activities when I'm retired. I'm not sure
Yeah.
if that's possible.
I don't know.
Maybe just a few less.
Yeah. So I woke up on Friday morning. I don't know.
Oh, it's daylight. Yeah,
It's daylight. I think we'll be okay.
right.
So I woke up Friday morning. I get up pretty early, like 5:15 kind of thing.
5:30. Yeah. that's
To
me.
like a whole bunch of text alerts on my phone and emails on my phone. Like my debit card had been compromised.
Oh,
and there were
no.
a whole bunch of like unauthorized charges. And then you could see like where they stopped them and then like put them into like pre-authorization mode. So to call and like my debit card's out of commission.
Pain in the neck.
And I guess
it's a family-friendly
eventually-
show by saying
I
pain in the
know.
neck when I really think something else entirely.
I mean,
Insert a line of
Yeah.
swear words here.
luckily the actual charges that got deducted from my
they're
checking account.
they're amazingly good. The banks are. Honestly, I
Yeah, it
have
was
to say.
only like $30 worth of stuff. There was like 6 transactions.
They're like
so,
on
like-
it immediately.
Yeah,
if it's
no,
the
it's-
least deviation from
Well, and so you call, right? And they go, well, we have a series of charges. Did you authorize it? And they'll like rattle it off. And you're like, no. But you really have to pay attention because like
Yeah.
every once in a while there's a legit one in there. And you're like, oh no,
or
that
maybe you
one's mine.
find some yarn randomly
Yeah.
somewhere out in the world.
Yeah, usually that kind of purchase I use my credit card for. Like I don't do very much online shopping with my debit
No,
card
me
for
neither.
this reason.
I don't really use my debit card ever. Yeah.
So, but I swear, like a teenage boy stole my credit card because it was like
Yeah.
charges for like video game stuff, like online games, like Sam's Club. So apparently they were getting snacks and like a computer store in like California. And I was
Yeah.
just like, no, none of that was me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of weird. My one of my credit cards, the one tied to my actual bank account as compared to like the other random credit cards, got stolen, hacked or whatever a couple of years ago. And I at that point was traveling a lot. And so they were used to seeing random things
charges
appear. But what happened that made them realize was that not only did they just take the number, but they must have put the number on an actual physical credit card and gone to the store to buy something. So the reason they knew is because there were 2 charges that presented at the same time, physically in person. And one was in Burlington, Vermont, where we live, and one, ironically, was in Burlington, Massachusetts, where I had not been. I had been in Minneapolis earlier that day. I flew home that day. And so there's all these charges in Minneapolis. And then I went to the grocery store on the way home. And at the same time, someone was using this hack card. So because otherwise, when you travel a lot, like, you know, I mean, it's not like my trips are fairly predictable. And of course, now there's none. But, or very, I say, as I say.
I haven't been anywhere.
So
for all of a sudden, like a whole bunch of charges to show up from like a California, whatever, like they were on it. So I'm still waiting for my debit card and discovering all of the things that are on auto pay through my debit card as I get notifications, your payment failed. I'm like,
I know, it's painful. Yeah, because then they shut it down, like completely shut down,
it's gone.
And it takes like 2 to 3 weeks to get a replacement card.
They said they're some of them are faster. Like I've had like credit cards compromised, and I feel like I get it the next day, and I'm like, gosh, you just want me to keep spending money. Debit card, I don't know. It'll show up at some point.
Yeah, they are fast. I shouldn't say that they take forever, but I mean, it takes a few days at least for them to put it back in action again, and then it's but then you get your statement. And of course, it's a whole different number. So it doesn't really, I mean, you have to re-enter all those automatic things because it's going to be a different number.
Well, so I have like a combination between just like ACH payments that come out. And then I guess I have a couple that I did on my debit card as opposed to instead of ACH. So I'm just flipping those over to ACH payments because then I don't have to worry about this. Again, which is just...
It is funny. Like they told me, so of course they called me. And I thought it was a spam call. So I ignored it. Because you don't
answer it.
Right.
Yep.
And finally, I think, I don't really remember how, they emailed me or something, and which I also thought was spam. And finally, I was like, maybe this is legit. So, or maybe I did pick up, and they were like, this is what's happening. I was like, yeah, right, sure, thanks. And I started to hang up, and she was like, no. Go to the back of your card, because she said, obviously, if I give you a number, you're not going to believe me. Right. So go to the back of your card, call the number on the back of your card, which I did, and then I got the same person back, and she's like, I was like, oh, okay. I'm not sure I want to talk to you, even though I finally found you. And then she was like, usually there's a tiny charge for like $3, like someone will just charge it to see if it's working. Yeah. And then they start racking them up. They had managed in that 4 hours before they caught it to rack up like, I don't know, $1,500 worth of charges. Wow. And they were clearly at the Burlington, Massachusetts Mall. And so, because it was like Nordstrom's and Lord & Taylor, and my hacker has good taste. Yeah, well, so there's that.
Mine apparently wanted Cheetos and video games, so I don't know. But
each
it was
their
like
own.
$4.99, $4.99, $4.99, $4.99, and then they...
4,000.
Yeah. So... But I got the text alert because I have that set up, and then I got an email, and then I can get onto my app, and I went onto the app to look at the activity and was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
You can just see it.
Yeah. And it's a lot. Like once they know it's working, then they just go on a little spree. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, it was a while ago now. An encounter with the dark side of humanity.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out like where did they get the I mean, because there's limited places that I use my debit card at, even.
And
like,
for me, for like Burlington,
store.
Massachusetts, I was like, I was in Minneapolis. Like it would make sense to me. Like someone in Minnesota would have my card. I went out to dinner. I bought stuff at the airport.
Took them a while to fabricate the card.
I don't know. Right? Exactly. It was just weird, and I think it was really confusing for the bank people. Burlington in 2 different states that are adjacent to each other. Right. It was, and I can understand. I was like, no, I live in Burlington. She's like, no, not your Burlington.
The other Burlington.
I was like, okay. This is very confusing. Yeah. But, yeah, anyway.
So, trials and tribulations of,
the electronic lives.
Get a card with a chip on it. It'll be safer, they said.
Yeah, well, yeah. Nowadays, you can't get one without a chip.
I know.
Apparently you can get some without tap, though, which is annoying.
It did. That would be annoying. Tap is great.
We just got brand new credit cards at the office, and they all came through with no tap on them. I was
What
like, are you kidding?
What? No. Why? That's ridiculous.
Our accounting people were not the ones who use the credit cards the most, so they didn't occur to them that we might prefer that.
That you might want that. It did get me out of grocery shopping this weekend because I was like, I can't go to the grocery store. I don't have a debit card. Upside.
Right. Of course, I use my credit card to buy my groceries, but
if he was smart, he would have handed me his debit card and been like, you can use mine. Go. No. So that worked out well.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah. I don't have anything interesting to report, really. I had a sort of monofocus week where I was pretty focused on our new little stuff here, which we'll obviously have talked about already here. I don't really remember what I did last week, and I worked on that all weekend, and then the weekend before that, I don't really remember. This past weekend, I did take a tiny little break yesterday, Saturday, and I went and saw our friend Kelly at Fernbridge Farm and her new little baby lambs, little tiny black lambs that are like this big. And they were less than 24 hours old. They were up, they were nursing, I think probably like immediately, but they gained like a pound each or something like that. I mean, it's crazy how fast they grow. Yeah.
Here they go.
Yeah. So apparently there'll be some more in a couple of weeks, but this one was the first one, and then she knew there would be a lag between the other ones. So I just missed seeing Carol, who was also there earlier that afternoon. There's probably like a train of people lined up in the driveway to go see the babies. So in a couple of weeks, we'll have to go back and visit her again and see all the little babies, because there'll be lots. And by then, these ones will be bouncing up and down. They were pretty like wobbly.
Wobble legs.
Yes, they could get up, find some place to have some dinner, sit back down. Yeah. But yes, but mom and babies are doing well, and it was really great to see Kelly and Bob, and my sister and my niece came with me because they live right near Kelly. So yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, everybody loves a baby lamb.
Yay, they're so cute.
Yes, they were so sweet.
So cute.
Yeah. Yeah. Other than that, it's just, I don't know, work.
Yeah.
I'm going to Maine this weekend, so that'll be nice. So retirement party for one of the guys in our Portland office, and then a little friend time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Is it bad when I'm looking at us potentially going to the H&H conference in the end of June, and I'm like, oh, look, a mini vacation.
Oh, no. That's exactly how you should be thinking about it.
Working vacation by my other job.
Yeah, because it's not, right. I mean, it is work for the store, technically, and but it's
like when we go to Rhinebeck.
Right. Only, like, yeah.
I need to look at the class schedule and see, and I need to clear it with my household to go for.
Yeah, and then we need to buy our plane tickets.
Yes.
The rest of it will all fall in line, but plane tickets are in short supply, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I looked really quickly. So we are going, for those that are wondering.
Some of us are going. Some.
Yeah, hopefully
fashion.
3 of us.
Yes.
The 2 of us and Ariana, hopefully will be going. But it's, I went to TNNA a long time ago with Kelly way at the beginning, but I haven't been to this show, and I'm excited about it because it's even bigger, I think, maybe, which is hard to imagine. But
so H&H has been big overseas, in Europe, and they're bringing their big conference here to the United States, particularly now that TNNA is no longer.
Well, it's funny, they're still there because they're sponsoring, so I'm not quite sure. They're listed as a sponsor.
Interesting.
Yeah, they've definitely got a smaller profile. I think someone jump-started that organization back up again, so we'll have to go and look. Yeah.
Okay.
I just noticed that yesterday when I was looking at the info page.
But, you know, H&H is like way broader than even like TNNA in terms of crafty stuff. So it'll be interesting. It's in Chicago.
Right, because there'll be all kinds of crafts. Yeah. We might be found in the leather corner for a little
What are you guys doing over here? Why are you looking at fabric?
Oh, right.
What?
Oh, you're a yarn store? Oh,
yeah.
Right. Is that why we're here?
Yeah. The yarn store needs that.
Right, exactly. I need a new bag. I don't really, but...
I have a whole big giant Tupperware.
Leather, though.
Totems.
I'm thinking about the
Oh.
leather. The leather crafters. That's the corner I'm going to make a small step in, probably.
Fun.
Mm-hmm.
Fun.
Yeah.
So anyway, we may be going to Chicago area, because I don't think it's actually in Chicago. It's like
Rosemont.
right outside of Chicago.
Suburb, I think.
For a few days in June.
And before that, yeah, I have several other trips in June, so I'm trying to keep track of what's happening when. But
Yeah.
I will be in Texas the first weekend in June. And then local yarn shop day on June 11th.
Yes.
We've been hatching a plan.
Working on it.
More to follow.
And yes, that trip would be right in between my two kids' birthdays, which
Yeah.
is part of my like, can I do this?
Yes, you deserve it, Ange.
Don't. Okay, so I'm not going to disagree.
Do you want
with
me to write you a note?
I might need a note. Here's my Sunday. This may also explain part of the text that you got that had like half of the information in it.
Well, also, I didn't read it
So,
really thoroughly. If I read it thoroughly, I might have asked you more
We were
questions.
both in the same place, I think, mentally. I was attempting to drink a cup of coffee. So let's just start there. I haven't had coffee yet.
Oh,
My kids have some crazy music playing on Alexa. It's like one of their playlists, and it's like, make you go insane kind of music. William is talking at me. There's no other way to describe it. Talking at me about his NCAA basketball bracket.
oh.
La
I could have a
basketball, this,
conversation,
that, la. And I'm like, okay, great. Abigail is wandering around the living room with one of her walkie-talkies, hitting the recall button, trying to find another walkie-talkie, so it's setting off the alarm on the walkie-talkie she has. I can't find it. And so like all of this is going on, and I'm just like, I just want to drink my coffee. Everybody stop talking to me.
Wow. Yeah, my morning was much more peaceful than that.
So that's how my day started, which might explain how come the text I sent you maybe had some words missing.
Yeah. Well, it's good that we worked it all out before we both drove somewhere. Yeah.
I'm glad I texted you. I saw your text at the bottom of my driveway.
I'm glad you were still in your driveway.
Yes.
I had just barely gotten home, actually.
I
But
saw
yeah.
your text come in, and I picked it up because I was expecting it to say, okay, see you soon. And then we were going to, away we go. And that's not what the text said. And I went, oh, I better read. Oh.
The text
okay.
said, why are you coming to my house?
Your yard's at the store.
I thought you said you were coming to the store to pick it up. I did wonder why you weren't coming to the store, but who knows? I thought maybe you were driving through town from someplace else.
So Abigail, Ella, and I had a very exciting drive to the bottom of the driveway, and then a very exciting trip back up the driveway as I attempted to back up my driveway,
Oh, yeah.
which was maybe a poor decision.
If you know Ange's driveway, first of all, it's steep, and second of all, it's got like an S curve in it or something. I don't even know.
And
I would not want to back up.
Not the
that.
best backer-upper generally.
My backup camera is not working, so my skills there have improved drastically looking out the windows.
Yeah, I would have been
I
better
can't rely on
served
the fuzz that's here on my screen.
if I would have just been looking out my windows.
Yeah.
So it was fine. I did get some from the back seat. What are you doing? It's like, oh my God, the 5-year-old is commenting on my vacuum skills.
Right. And then the dog probably started barking.
No, the dog was fine. The dog was like, are we going for a ride?
Right.
You did not leave me behind.
Why was it so short?
So excited.
Right.
So yeah, that was fine.
Yeah.
Abigail thought it was hysterical. I was like, it was the shortest trip ever. And she was like, yay.
Oh gosh,
Yeah,
that's funny.
was
Well, I'm
fun.
glad you didn't get all the way to my house because I would have been like, why are you here?
Abigail and I were talking about that. She was like, Jen would have been like, why are you here? Like, I don't know, I'm picking up my yarn.
It's really funny how you read a text and you immediately in your brain translate it into something, a course of action, and then you don't think about it after that, which is what I did. I took the yarn off the floor and put it on the counter.
Yep.
The sales floor, I should mention,
Yeah.
not the floor.
Because based on the text I sent you, that totally would have made
That
sense.
is an interpretation.
Yeah.
It's not the correct
The
interpretation.
interpretation was, Jen, bring it home with you because I'm going to go pick it up from you at your house tonight.
Yeah, right. And then after I saw your text, I went back and looked at my text again. And I was like, oh, I guess maybe that could have been implied, but But of course, there were people here, and
Oh, I
I
know.
just glanced
Yeah,
at
no,
it, and we
yeah.
had a million orders because
Yeah.
we've got patterns and kits
Yep.
and things that,
There's a lot going on.
yeah.
Yeah.
And knit group people were coming in, and knit group people were online,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
talking.
I almost sent you a text later. They're like, text me when you're leaving so I can meet you at your house.
That would have been perfect, because
Yeah,
then I would have
no.
been like, oh, okay,
Wait,
she wants
She
to.
wants to. But anyway, it's fine.
It's all good.
It allowed me to finish another thing that I needed to do for class I'm teaching on Saturday. So now this is all done, and now I can do that. So
That's
it's
good.
fine. Yeah, it all
good.
worked out.
Yeah.
There's those stinking lights. I'm gonna go before we
Here,
get the
let me throw
official.
the pen. Will that work, do you think?
I don't think so. Nope.
Nope. We definitely need like a big fly swatter or something.
Don't have to go very far.
Maybe we need like one of those big like Gumby streamer things that you could like
Something.
wave up in the air, like the gas station has, like those big. And it could actually just be off screen over there.
But it would inevitably both of us would get distracted, like catch it out of the corner by it. That would be
Right.
funny though.
Yeah, that would be hilarious.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll look into those.
Because I know next time I come into the store, there's going to be a blow up Gumby doll in the corner.
Be like, what is this? And be like, you said.
It has to have moving arms. That's the only thing. It'll be one of those terrible Halloween blow up things that people put in their front yards. I'm not a fan. Sorry for those that are.
We aren't. They're at my house. But
Yeah.
those have blowers on them, so it would like be tons of background noise.
Be noisy. Yeah.
Anyway, we'll work on that. There
Yeah.
is a solution here.
Yes,
We
I'm
just
sure
need to
there
find
is. Yeah.
So, all right. Well, should we get this?
Maybe. I was
Show
just
on
looking
the
at my
road.
notes in case there was anything interesting in there, and there's really not.
Okay.
Although we're not going to talk about it for.
20 minutes of random
Right.
craziness.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Are ready?
Yep.
Okay.